Good morning, Facebook family. Good morning. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Tea and Talk with Hermie. Oh, I had to breathe in. I had to feel the zen that I was feeling with that song that I was listening to. Okay. So wherever you are, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. I know the time you could be doing something, but you chose to say, you know what, let me see what tea and talk have to deliver today. What tea am I going to spill today? And today I'm going to spill the tea on foods that have health benefits. Going to spill the tea on that today. So, as you already see, what next week is going to be overrated wellness trends because they are out there. So many of them are out there. Are out there. As always, I do want to say what my takeaway was last week. And last week, my takeaway is just the quote. It's the quote. Self care is stewardship. It's not selfish because when you take care of yourself, you are able to take care of others. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of others. So that what sticks with me is self-care is a stewardship and not being selfish. Because that's one thing that we might tell ourselves, that we are being selfish. We don't care about people. But it's because we care about people. That's why we do self-care because we care about others. So that's my takeaway for last week. The Bible verse for this week comes from Daniel's chapter 1, verses 12 to 15. And I shall read it verbatim. Okay. Please test your servants for 10 days and let them give us vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our appearance be examined before you and the appearance of the young man who ate portions of the king's delicacy, and you will see fit. So deal with your servants. So he consented with them in this matter and tested them for 10 days. At the end of the 10 days, their features appeared better and fatter in flesh than all the young men who ate the portion of the king's delicacy. So, right there in the word, okay, in the word, it is telling us what to eat. It's telling us what to eat. The quote of the day. J. Howard Miller said, "You are what you eat, so don't be fast food." You are what you eat, so don't be fast food. You joining me on the live. I have said this in my rehearsal that if you're joining me on the live, share the live. Let somebody else get some of this good knowledge. So let somebody get some of this great and wonderful knowledge that I'm giving because this time, for my disclaimer, it's all research. I did this all research. And what I found out, I want to share with others. So please share the live, share the live, share the live. My tea this morning is moringa tea. I first tasted moringa tea when Catherine Peters says, "Hermania, would you like some tea?" And I says, "Sure. Which tea?" She said moringa, and I think she had to repeat it a couple of times because it didn't flow. It didn't flow like back then, like how it's flowing now for me. So yes, for moringa tea, when I did a research on moringa tea, that if you get a cut and the leaves, you just mash the leaves and you put it on the cut. It will relieve the pain and it will close the wound up. Moringa tea leaves. But with me drinking my tea this morning, it's a great antioxidant. It's good for my skin. I get compliments about my skin, so it's great for the skin. Plus, it fights infection. When we go back to the old days, because that's what we did way back when my great grandmother, doctors was not like it is now. So when COVID came out and everybody was saying, get the vaccine, and some people saying, well, no, drink this bush, drink this bush, drink this bush, drink this bush. Because in the islands, you grew up on the land, you eat from the land to heal the body. It was not like we had the doctors that they have now that giving you all this stuff to say, take this for that, take this for take this that. So when we have the land that is giving us the vitamins and the minerals and nutrition that we need, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. So now let's start with brain health. There is a commercial on television, Prevagen. Prevagen. I can't even pronounce it sometimes. I have to make sure, am I pronouncing it right? So in the commercial, the gentleman said that he's taking it because he does not focus and he does not remember. So I took the liberty to see what the ingredients are in Prevagen. I am a firm believer. I am a firm believer. If I cannot pronounce the word, I am not gonna digest that. I am not. So the first ingredients, I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it right now. I'm not. But in reading it, it said that main ingredients is a protein found in, wait for it. It's a protein found in jellyfish. And wait for it again. Now they're going to manufacture it in a lab. Let that settle in for a minute. They are going to manufacture it in a lab. And I'm supposed to digest so I could focus, so I could remember. Me personally, I pass. I'll pass. I rather eat a piece of salmon. I rather get me some blueberries. I rather eat some spinach, some nuts, chia seed. I never liked chia seed. Just the look of chia seed in a can. Just look, this little seed. I mean, what this little seed could do? Just little seeds, and it's expensive too, by the way. So I said, you know what? Health is wealth. Health is wealth. So guess what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Just like, yeah. So I started soaking it in the water, putting some fruits in it, blueberry fruits, strawberry fruits, some Greek yogurt, and I'm loving it now. I am loving chia seed. So let's eat to get our mind focused. Let's eat so we could keep our brains functioning, our brain cells functioning. Because I'm not knocking doctors here, okay? Let's get this straight. I am not knocking medical professions. I'm not knocking medicine. What I am advocating here is getting back to the land, getting back to our roots, getting back to what kept us fit, what kept us nourished. That's what this is about. So the tip for brain health: eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. Red, green, orange, purple. Eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow. And let's get that brain cells going. And like I said, if you can't pronounce the thing, and the thing is then manufactured in a lab, what is it doing to your body? What is it doing to your body? Just leave that sit there. Moving on to heart health. In heart health, we have to focus on two things. We have to focus on our blood pressure and our cholesterol. High blood pressure and cholesterol. We want to make sure that those two things are where it's supposed to be. So we keep our heart functioning normally, naturally. So we want to focus on avocados. I love avocados, almonds, leafy vegetables, olive oil. When I go shopping in the grocery store, I stay out of getting processed food. I stay away from processed food. When you take up a box, a container, whatever, processed food, read the ingredients. Read the ingredients and see what's in it and see this is something that you want to digest into your body. A stroke, a heart attack, deadly, deadly. So if we focus on what we put on our body, we will keep away from getting high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Remember, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. What you digest is what you are. My mommy is 90 years old. I'm telling you, she eats good. She drinks a tea, Cersei. Oh God, that thing bitter. Oh God, that thing so bitter. But I know it's good for me. So you know what I said? I went and did a little research, and somebody said to kill the bitterness, add some mango leaves or some soursop leaves, but add some into the Cersei, and it's good for the blood, Cersei. So the tip I want to leave you with for heart health is ditch the processed food. Ditch the processed food. I'm gonna tell you, I love ketchup. Okay, I love. No, remember the E is in there now. There's a E. Loved. Okay, so let's say your grammar. I loved ketchup. So the grammar is there. So that means it's past tense. I loved the taste of it. I love the look of it. I love even the smell of it. I loved it. But I say, you know what? After I got knowledgeable about reading labels, I say, you know what? I'm done with ketchup. I am so done with ketchup. So now I make my own. If I want to have some ketchup, I say, you know what? Get me some ketchup, some Dash, Mrs. Dash seasoning, and some olive oil, and I make my own little ketchup. And there I go with my ketchup. So leave the processed food alone. You want to have good heart health? Leave processed food alone. Leave the processed food alone. Moving on to skin health, which is the largest organ in the body, our skin. We gotta take care of our skin. We gotta take care of our skin. Sometimes we will see dry skin, ashy skin, eczema, whatever. But we have to take care of our skin. We have to take care of our skin. So we gotta eat foods that will make sure we fight those acnes and the aging. You know, um, I know that I'm 62. I'm not gloating here or nothing like that, but I pride myself on my skin. And I'm also want to say on here, I do believe the reason why I have my face like it is, I don't wear makeup. And I think that's a market that is so expensive out there. That's a very expensive market. And I'm not saying don't go buy makeup, but for her, me, no. Hermie, no makeup, just a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer, and I'm done. And a little lip line, a little lip moisturizer, and I'm good to go. Because when you put the things on your skin, you're doing stuff to your pores, and that's when the problem comes in. And then they're gonna tell you buy this so you don't get that. Just wash your face. Lord forgive me for that one, but I just said leave the makeup alone now. I'm not gonna advocate makeup. I'm sorry. I'm natural, natural, natural. So eat clean, eat clean. Nuts, you know, avocados. Back to avocados. The pumpkin. I didn't used to like pumpkin. That's another reason too. I didn't used to like pumpkin, but now I love my pumpkin soup. I love my pumpkin soup. I love my pumpkin soup. And the tip for good skin health: hydrate and sleep. Hydrate and sleep. I'm going to repeat that again. Hydrate and sleep. Sleep is important. Sleep does a body good. If you're not getting 7 to 8 hours as an adult, um, um, think about something. I had a problem many years ago. Many years ago, I had a problem where I couldn't sleep. Sleep just wouldn't come because I was stressing, I was worrying, and I could feel my body was changing on me, that I had to get my sleep under control because sleep is important. When we sleep, we regenerate our body. When we sleep, we heal. When we sleep, it takes care of our body for us. That's why they have something called um, induced coma. Induced coma, so the body could heal. So when you could sleep without being induced, oh my God, it's wonderful. So even now, I get mad because I can't see my TV shows because it come on too late, because bedtime is 10 p.m. and because of the time difference, I got a problem with that. So guess what? I'm going to get my 7, 8 hours of sleep. I am. So you want good skin health? Hydrate and get some sleep. Hydrate and get some sleep. This one here, it's a little bit touchy. It's very touchy. Libido health. Libido health. Libido health. Wow. You know, get the sparks back. Oysters. I don't like them. You can't even get me to try one. Say you get just crack the shell and no, I'm not even gonna. No, I can't do that. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not gonna try it. I am an advocate here to say yes, try something, but when I do the assessment of it, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna assess before I say no. I would never say no without assessing. So first I assess, and when I assess, do I want that? No, no. Even if you tell me you're making me a sunny side egg, no, thank you. No, no. I want my egg hard scrambled. I don't want to see no runny, not one runny white, not runny yellow. No, I want it solid, cooked and cooked and cooked. So for the libido, oysters, dark chocolate. Well, hey, dark chocolate now. Hey, hey, you calling me right now. Hey, that's my name. Because I love 75% chocolate. Yes. Hey, I love 75% chocolate because of the health benefits that it has in it. Yes. Watermelon. And the tip here for your libido health is stress. Okay. We don't want no stress, because if you're stressful, your libido is gonna be on zero. So you gotta put that stress away, because if you're stressing, your hormones gonna go all berserk on you. So just say, you know what? I need to do something to get rid of the stress, so I'll get my libido going. Because without having being in a relationship, if you're in a relationship, I'm gonna say it again. If you're in a relationship, you want to keep the libido going. Okay, there's no if, ands, or but. You in a relationship, you want to keep your libido going. You want to keep that part of your life going as long as you are in a relationship. And I'm going to say it again. As long as you're in a relationship, you want to keep your libido going. It's just as it is. You got to keep it going. Keep it going. Whatever you have to do to keep your libido going, just stay focused on that. Kidney health. Let's move on to kidney health. Kidney is a filtration system. Okay. That's why it's so important to hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Water, water, water. If you say you're tired of drinking water, put a little fruit in it, put a little melon in it, put a little cucumber in it, put something in the water. But you want to stay hydrated and stay away from that store bought stuff, about that fruit stuff and all that stuff. Stay away from that. That's just wasting money. That's putting money out to bad. I saw one talk about call it the hint. I don't know if they're gonna sue me for that, but whatever. I don't know. But make it natural. You get your water and you put your own fruit in it. You know what's in it. You know what's in it. I bet you 9 out of 10 there is something else in that water. But you got your cup of water and you drop a lemon in it, you drop the lime in it, you drop a piece of oranges, you drop a strawberry, you know what you put in that water. So infuse your water. There are bottles out there just for that. Just for that. To say, you know what, yes, water, and in a strainer, drop it in there and let it sit. And enjoy. Sit and enjoy. For the tip For kidney health, it's going to go right back to processed food. You want to leave that processed food alone. You want to leave that processed food alone. Next, let's move on to liver health, because you need a functioning liver. Your liver needs to be functioning so you can filter stuff. The main reason why, when they talk about drinking in excess, is because of the excessive drinking. That's what messes your liver up, because the liver is filtrating. It's filtrating. So the more liquor you drink, and especially for the proof, oh God, the proof. There is a gentleman that loves his liquor. He loves his liquor. But I offered him a bottle of Grenada rum, made in Grenada. Once he opened it, he went, oof, he didn't want to try it. Just the smell of it, just the smell of it, he didn't want to try it. So then you know what he did? He poured some out and he lit it. I said, whoa. He said, nope, 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 nope. He said, that's fire. He will not drink that. That's a matter of fact, his words was, that's a liver destroyer, was his exact words. A liver destroyer. So when you're drinking hard liquor, you got to drink it in moderation, because you are killing the liver. You are slowly killing that liver. So when it comes to liver health, you want to eat bits. I don't like bits. I'm not going to tell no lie. I don't like it. My mother loved bits. So when I'm cooking and I got to cook bits for her, I'll just look at the bits and say, oh, I ain't going to taste it. But one day a friend made me a bit smoothie, and I loved it. For some reason, the bit smoothie, I loved it. But I do believe to eat it, just slice it and eat it, no, I, no, no. But I will drink it in a smoothie. I will drink beets in a smoothie. Brussels sprout was something too I didn't used to eat, because of the taste of it. But I put some Mrs. Dash on it, and now I could eat Brussels sprout. Broccoli, citrus, whole grains, all good for your liver health, because you want your liver functioning to clean the system out, because you want to keep your system going, and you want to avoid those high proof liquor. You want to be one that wants to drink high proof, 80 proof every day on the money. You messing up your liver. So keep hydrated for the tip for your liver. Keep hydrated and stay away from high proof liquor. So the last one is digestive health. And I saved that for last because I didn't want to gross anybody out in the beginning. So I could keep you engaged, because I left it for last. Now, BM, I'm not going to say what it means. You all know what it means, BM. Okay, you know what it means. When a baby eats, a baby poop. Baby sleep, eat, poop. That's it. And they just grow. Next thing you go and say, oh my God, look how big they're getting. Because why? Their bodies are doing what it's supposed to do. They are eating, they are pooping, and they are sleeping. Those three things: eat, poop, sleep. And they're growing. They're growing like weeds, like, oh my God. So yeah, so if you're not having your bowel movement on a regular, eat more fiber. Stay hydrated, because the digestive system flows with what you eat. Whatever you eat stays compact in the intestines. But if you eat fiber and you stay hydrated, then the digestive system will flow. Ergo, you having your more than one bowel movement a day. Me personally, I wake up in the morning and I want my warm water with some lemon or some apple cider vinegar, because I know that what I ate the night before is going to come out before I have my breakfast. Because you eat, you have to go. Okay? You eat, you have to go. You don't want that compacted in your intestine. I know that in social media world, it was said that two famous people had impacted intestines. Two famous people, they had impacted intestines. When they died, they realized, oh my God, look how their intestine was impacted. So we want our intestines to flow. We got to eat high fiber foods so our system could flow like a baby, so we could be healthy. We could be very, very healthy. So now let me go to the comments and see what's in the comment section this morning. Oh, my trusted son. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning. Good morning, Kent. Thank you for joining me on the live. Good morning, Sunny. Thank you for joining me on the live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I tell you, I am really fascinated with this topic because it reminded me that we really are what we eat. When I found this quote, when I found this quote by Palmer, saying, "You are what you eat." You are what you eat. It's There's no two ways about it. Health is wealth. Again, I want to say on here, I'm not saying don't go to your doctor. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that you want to go to your doctor. Me, I go twice a year. I want to know what's going on inside. I want to know what's going on inside. I want to do my liver function test, my kidney test. I want to know. I want to know what's going on internally because we don't know what's going on internally. I want to get my A1C check. You know, I want to know what's happening. So when we eat the foods that will accommodate our health, that's awesome because we are in 2026 and this world was here way before 2026. And we have to ask ourselves, what were they doing back then? What were keeping them age so old? What was the decisive factor that say, what, they are old? Even the sun. Do you go out and get your vitamin D, your natural vitamin D from the sun? Because that's important. The moonlight, it's there is something about natural. There's just something about it. In America, I don't get to enjoy the moonlight because there is so much artificial lights around. But when I'm in the island and the moon is out, oh my God, how illuminate is. It's like, wow. Natural, 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 natural. I'm going to say, I'm not advocating don't wear makeup. I'm not advocating don't get your processed food. I'm not doing that. This is not what I'm doing. I'm just want to make us mindful that there is another way. There is another way. And that way is going back to basics. Going back to basics. And that is what I'm here trying to advocate. How we could use our natural food to help us age naturally and grow old gracefully. That's all that I sought out to do this morning, is to just say be mindful about what you put in your body. Be mindful of what you put in your body. If you can't pronounce it, and if it's made in a lab, oh gosh, if it's made in a lab and you got to consume it, be mindful about that. Be mindful. When I told my mommy, I said, Mommy, I'm going to eat from the land and the sea. The land and the sea. You know, Hearing that no, you see, I can't even pronounce it again. Perversion has a protein from the jellyfish. A protein from the jellyfish, and they make it in the lab. So it's like, guess what? Eat from the land. Last week, my trusted son said to me, he says, Mommy, you didn't say in closing. He said, you didn't say in closing. So I said, you know what? I was so hyped. that I didn't do my inclusive. So, in closing, I thank each one of you who are on the live. I thank you very much. I do hope you shared. I do hope you shared the live. Like I said, I'm here to share because I feel I'm sharing. That's what I'm doing. So I hope you shared also. Just be mindful what you put in your body. Okay. Just be mindful what you digest. You know, you say you like ice cream, enjoy the ice cream. You like a pizza, enjoy it. But we just got to tell ourselves how often do we get that ice cream? How often do we eat that pizza? How often do we have a glass of wine and how much? That's what we have to remind ourselves. Is the quantity is we need to remind ourselves of that. It's like we don't want to overindulge. When I was in the military and I ran the SOC program, what I said to them was, yes, the alcohol is available. The alcohol is available, but drink to enjoy so you can remember. Because in the field that I was in, somebody will get raped and they don't remember because why? They was too drunk to remember. So I would say, hey, drink just to enjoy because you could feel when you're getting drunk. It's something that you will feel it. You hey, I know because I have been there. When I said, I just want to see what it felt like to be intoxicated. You want to feel it. So yeah, oh, he's getting there. So oh, time out. That's it. That's it. So hey, it's been a blast. Oh, good morning, Derek. Good morning. Thank you for joining me on the live. So you all have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you next week. So peace out, Island Gal out. Bye.